Thank you, you two associates, for coming in. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Mac for getting 3 subscribers and 400 views on one of his more recent videos. As a corporate influence, I have many things to keep track of, such as the success rate of many people. How successful someone is the only thing I can identify people as. So what better to get more practice and to get my associates more well tuned to this kind of thinking than doing it with fictional characters on a clickbait title such as Super Smash Bros.
And you know what, Mr. Octo Incorporated, I'm gonna start out big and strong. Right, I couldn't help but notice that is that Bayonetta is the first one.
Bayonetta right here. Yeah.
She is definitely incredibly successful because of 2 words. Are you ready for this, Craig? OnlyFans. Throw her up there.
I was just about to say Bayonetta. With the recent rise of people having even more parental issues than normal, mommy issues and mommy kinks have become more of a rising thing. I think Bayonetta thrives off of people who are into that whole mommy kink thing. Belle Delphine could sell her bathwater. Bayonetta could sell her spit in an eyedropper for like $100.
Oh, true. Literally, like, I would pay thousands, hundreds of thousands, like millions of dollars to just sit under her.
Little Mac is very like quick and like he's obviously a good boxer, but I think he's a little bit too clean. I think he plays a little bit too straight and a bit too honorable.
I feel like he'd be in the same crowd as like Andrew Tate.
I'm getting a...
Do you think
he'd be a supporter of Andrew Tate?
I'm getting more like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, like, I think he's more of like a stoic.
Job.
I get the more kind of like stoic kind of vibe from him. It would be funny if Andrew Tate endorsed one of his boxing matches, though. That would definitely get him up here.
Yeah.
He's a capable physical human being who professionalizes in a sport about punching people. I don't see how that can go any lower than high achieving.
The problem is that you're forgetting the boxer's paradox, where no matter how hard they try, they're always destined to be Italian and a poor, impoverished family. So
that's
I'm sticking with struggling dead-end job.
Really? That's true.
Office job.
Also, yeah, because he could be like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I'm getting mad Sylvester Stallone vibes.
Yeah, and Sylvester Stallone is just not a successful person at all. I think Sylvester Stallone on TikTok is a bit too funny for me to not put him in middle class. I think Lil Mac would be a middle class TikToker.
I think Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's kind of
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is pretty successful.
No, I think he's a middle class again, man.
Dude, have you ever seen Parks and Recreation? Chris Pratt does
have.
well.
That's a great show. He carries that show. The only reason I would put him into high achieving is because the trades are going down, and we're gonna need plumbers.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking about how Mario is also this kind of like overachieving. He plays super straight and by the bill, and I think he's in a world where all he does is he's got a monopoly on the market in the Mushroom Kingdom because there's no other plumbers except for his brother. And he works with him. Yeah. And he gets paid in gold coins, and the only person that owns a building with sophisticated enough architecture to have plumbing is Princess Peach. And guess what? Mario has an in with Princess Peach.
I was literally just thinking that if I had to pick one character in this entire roster that's gonna kill themselves, it's default Mario.
He canonically has no other behaviors other than what a normal Minecraft player would do. Like, he's characterized by the impulses and motives for playing the game Minecraft. And I think that since Minecraft is all about complete disregard for your environment and playing by your own rules and however you want, he would become a dictator / warlord, and that would probably get him up into like high achieving,
one of those
maybe incredibly successful,
kill or be killed type mentality. And
he's constantly looking ahead. Well, there's a killer level quality in his eyes that I think a lot of people just crumble. Yeah,
quite literally.
He would definitely be on the terrorist list.
The FBI would be having a very close look at Minecraft Steve.
All right, Mac, what's your pick?
The crocodile guy. What's his name?
The crocodile King K. Rool.
King K. Croc. Yeah.
King K. Rool. Wow. That's a big one because he's got reasonably human level intelligence. Like he's got like basic pattern recognition and stuff like that. But I think it's just a matter of whether he would be like thrown in a zoo or if he would be like, or if he'd like be in the circus. Yeah. Oh right, OnlyFans. Oh
Sign
my
me
god,
up, bro.
that's very.
You have the toes out. You do
I
have the
think-
toes
Feet
out.
pics, he got the grippers.
He would succeed in OnlyFans because everyone is just curious. There's just like a level of curiosity, but at the same time, do I see King K. Rool being the type of man to do that? Like or would he start his own kind of like Amazonian monarchy in the middle of the jungle and like, because surely
That's a great-
some kind of
That's a
indigenous
great-
tribe would
profitable?
worship him.
I don't think the claws would lower his OnlyFans though. I mean, personally, I'm getting mesmerized by the toes.
Yeah, is this
seen
a
it
tier
years
is this a tier list on someone's success or their viability on OnlyFans?
You know what? I mean,
that
you're
could be
right.
an next
the
tier
heels
list.
I mean,
do look
tomato,
really
tomato.
nice.
You're saying the same thing to me.
Peach would not have an
Mm-mm.
OnlyFans.
No.
I'm gonna have to
She's
put my foot
either,
down
like-
here. She would
And
not
it's
have an
so sad.
OnlyFans. I think Peach is the
The brightest.
quintessential like dumb bimbo.
Meth addict on the streets, homeless.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because she
Yeah.
kind of gives
Take
me
her out of her scenario.
Luigi gives me Jesse Pinkman vibes. In that he is kind of like, you know, in the shadow, kind of like wimpy, jittery, like he's not really confident in his situation, doesn't have his chest popped out. But when the chips are down, you want Luigi in your corner. If I could trust anyone on this tier list to kill a man, I think I would trust Luigi. Modern society would stress out Luigi beyond belief, and that kind of stress would manifest into like harrowing competence, and that would turn
Yeah.
out to be becoming a murderer for hire.
Yeah, that's Luigi. Kind of strikes me as the kind of guy who would like can spread his toes really far, like surprisingly far.
Oh,
Right there.
Greninja.
Yep.
Oh, dude, we did
Frog
recently
toes.
watch Nomeo and Juliet, and there was a frog that Noah was absolutely down bad for. Absolutely down bad for.
Bronze down. This might be a terrible video. I'm just letting you know.
That's kind of the point. He would probably do some kind of like old ancient Japanese ninja classes or something like that. I could see him doing that.
He would open up a dojo. Like
He
a
would
karate school.
open up a dojo, yeah, and it would probably be in Japan, as far away from Noah as possible, since they don't really wear shoes while they train. So if you aren't wearing shoes, then your success is directly tied to how far away you are from Noah. So I think
It's a
you're,
menace.
I think you're putting high achieving there. Hold on. So
He is an animal though.
let's get a placement for every single one of the tiers here. Who do you think out of this would be decrepit / homeless? Who is like horribly unsuccessful in the real world?
Wario is the kind of guy who like builds a grudge in high school and builds their entire personality off of that, and then like never gets past it. And so their life, like they work in.
He
a hot dog
literally
stand
does
in the
that
same
too. That's
town,
very
they
observant of
grow
you,
up.
because he does that
He
for
has the
Mario.
finger gloves.
He gets he gets like super competitive with Mario and like tries to one up in every way. That's like his whole personality. He, like totally
But at the
nailed
end
that.
of the day, like who's living in the castle and banging the princess? Me and Mario. Parentheses. I hide in the closet.
I think you're just looking at their at the feet.
God
It-
damn those toes.
So I
Yeah.
was looking at Piranha Plant.
Ginormous lift, bro.
I was actually
Okay.
Man.
okay. Clearly, you guys focused on the more central part of his character design being the mouth. I was thinking about him being a plant. He is definitely so. I have a neighbor, and like 4 years ago, she asked me to water her plants, and I had always done it, but this one time I forgot. I would own a piranha plant because I was really into Venus flytraps and stuff, and I would forget to water him, and he would die.
Rip.
So
You could also just
That's
think
my
of it
thought.
as a plant has no work skills or anything.
He would be a champion hot dog, like hot dog eating
a
champion.
hot dog eating champion. That is true.
Like Guinness World Record holding for eating just things.
Yeah, but like, who is gonna come across Piranha Plant, and how
I'm willing to
like
put that to the test.
would they test his
I
hot
would.
dog eating abilities before he ended up dying of other causes? Like,
No.
when you
Well, he
saw
would
a
die from
Venus
me.
flytrap, would you
Put
have
my
actually
PP in it, yes.
you probably would have actually tried everything you could do with the mouth possible if you saw a
100%.
Venus
But he got like
yes.
teeth and stuff. He's like,
That's
Acid kind of
true.
burns,
Aggressive
but it's
with it.
okay.
Yeah, and he can spit like solid iron metal spiky
Yeah, he
balls
can,
out of his
goddamn.
mouth. So yeah,
like-
I think hot dog eating would be like.
But
I've
that's
never
why
heard of a successful
not
hot dog eating.
profitable.
I would
competitor.
pay a lot of money for that plant, yes.
Oh, but it is a plant. True, that is unique. I think
Mm.
middle class.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that's
No need to
appropriate?
consent, yeah. Optional. Fox, furry, top tier. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. He is like, if he does turn out
He's
to be a
quite
furry,
rolling
he
it,
is
though.
saving 3K, right?
yeah.
So He's 3K up on every single one of these people.
Don't ask
to
how I
some
know how
degree.
much fursuits cost.
True. Fox
The
could get the
nature.
rights to his personal image, and people could base fursuits off of his like anthropomorphic design. And I think that
Whoa.
kind of side would do super well. So yeah, I think high achieving. He could make a lot of money off of that. And at the same time, he could do this whole like crime fighter thing on the side too if he wanted to. I think that's something
Like
that he would do.
Batman, but in a
Yeah,
fursuit.
but with like a plasma gun.
Do you
I
think
guess.
he's gay?
Second row. Oh, here is
Yes.
Isabel.
Dictator.
Right.
President.
Oh my God. Yeah,
city
totally a
leader,
dictator.
mayor.
No,
hands
yeah,
down,
no, she's
period.
assistant to the
Kissing.
mayor, and she would totally hire Luigi to have a hit on the mayor, and then she would become mayor,
Take his
and
place.
she's yeah, like a position of power. Let's pick the one Fire Emblem character where their one defining trait is that their feet are exposed. Noah, I will leave this one entirely up to you. Where do you think Corrin goes?
I have to Google image.
Like, do you want to like zoom in on Corrin?
Corin feet picks 4K.
I think Noah would pick up a second job just so he could keep donating to Corrin. Pretty.
Corin is Markiplier?
Mark Corrin is pretty much Markiplier if you think about it, and Markiplier is pretty successful.
True.
Dude, I am on the hellscape of the internet right now.
List off some people that you see where you could just immediately determine what their fate would be.
Rosalina, Zookeeper.
Rosalina's Zookeeper. That's about like middle class.
Mhm.
That makes perfect sense actually if you really
We fit
don't think about it too
trainer.
hard. We fit
Fitness
trainer.
middle
Oh,
class.
fitness trainer, middle class. Yeah, nobody cares about fitness.
I just take all the me characters and put them in crippling, like,
Oh,
alcoholism.
right, because they
Yeah.
they
half
have
of them
like a
look
ton of like
cheeseburgers
personal.
and stuff.
Well, the whole point of the Mii fighters is that they like you constantly change their movesets and stuff. They have horrible identity problems. They would totally not get that fixed, and they would just end up not
Just
knowing
end up
who
on the
they are.
streets.
Yeah, they would
With
lose
schizophrenic
themselves.
tendencies.
Dark
Oh, I
Samus
like
would
that.
immediately die. I think Dark Samus, like in her games, I've barely paid any attention, but seems like she only really thrives when she's 1v1ing Samus. I think if
I've
we
never
had
played
like
the
the
Metroid
government
games.
against them, I haven't either, so I'm just completely like making this up. Dark Pit, he's got a rifle. I'm pretty sure that's not up to code. ATF would get him.
ATF, oh, California? Dude,
Yeah, absolutely.
he's canceled.
He's canceled. No way he's sending another tweet again.
But what are we doing the Ben Lista ad? When are we doing the Ben Lista ad?
Some of these may cause death.
I think in terms of advertisements. Oh my God, it actually says that. Some of these may
We were not
cause
making that up,
death.
We were reading that.
This is yeah. I think you would rather
Incredible
have this
successful.
than a cyanide pill if you got captured. Hold on, who's gonna substitute as Benalista? Nobody cares about Sora whatsoever, right? Sora's a super unpopular character, so Benalista F tier. Yeah, no, Benalista would not do very well.
King DDD S tier.
Mukbangs have been such a
He's Nico
prevalent
Kato,
thing.
avocado.
yeah, like he's totally got the Nico Kato kind of like mukbang vibe about him. I could see him eating a lot of food, so he would be like an internet star. King DDD. Especially because he got the whole hammer and everything. He can like break things in rage if he wanted
His
to.
whole persona. You'd open up a YouTube channel,
He
or
would.
TikTok, or something.
He actually would. Oh, he would be the Thing, wouldn't he? Because he can copy things.
Mm-hmm.
So he would
like
become
a
a
skinwalker.
he would be like a horror creature. Yeah, he would be like, and he would be
balling
considered
around
that.
Halloween time, but
Oh, that's true.
smart
Yeah.
at it.
Just whenever I see Kirby, I'm rating his success in life. I can just imagine that one meme of Kirby sitting outside under a street lamp at night holding a knife. Yeah, have you ever seen that?
What?
Oh, hold on, let me
No.
look that up. Yeah, this one. This right here. This is what this I can
That is
imagine this
scary.
is I think this is Kirby's fate, and that isn't decrepit, but I think he's struggling because the government will eventually kill him. Sonic would be praised by a lot of 14-year-olds. And 14-year-olds very frequently have access to their mom's credit card.
Check out Google real quick.
Oh, Google.
Or sorry, not Google. General.
Oh yeah, General. Checking out.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank God. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm not gonna show my faithful associates what you just shared
This
with
is
me,
the
but
hellscape of the internet. That
all I'm gonna say is that there's a reason why Sonic always wears his shoes.
My initial ruling would be definitely S tier for
Really? Okay.
previously pointed out reasons.
True.
Oh my god, they're
For
both
like
addicted to feet.
OnlyFans.
But like other than that, well, he's also fast. So like he could be an Olympic like sprinter or track star or football. Like you imagine
Right.
him being
Oh
a
my
wide
God.
receiver, you couldn't
Yeah,
even catch up.
I was so
You'd-
focused on that disturbing image of his feet, I forgot he's the fastest thing in the
But
world.
image, I got like 4, bro. I got more if you want more.
Let's get some quick ones. Marth.
I got you.
Marth
Yeah,
would just be like a fencing instructor. I don't think that does very well.
Is that-
Struggling dead end job. Lucina. There's a gender pay gap, so you would be even worse.
I have a question on one of our characters. We've not yet played some, but I've just been thinking, where in the world would Piku Man be?
This
Is that his
one?
name? The like silhouette dude? No, not Pikachu.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Mr. Game and Watch.
Oh.
So yeah, he's
Piku Man.
no. The reason why you so horribly misidentified him is because he's the most forgettable video game character of all time.
Exactly.
He can. Yeah, I think he's two-dimensional, literally, not just like in terms of design. He's like literally as flat as a piece of paper.
And figuratively.
Paper does have
Yeah.
3 dimensions. It's just very thin.
I
Yeah,
just don't
scientist.
see anyone being fascinated or making any kind of
Yeah.
money. Like, there's no way. Rob would
Rob's a
just end.
homie, bro.
He
He's
would.
in
He's
Mario
a
Kart
homie.
DS.
I think he would also end up in one of those like British like computer facilities that like makes
I thought you
robot
were gonna say,
dogs
like,
and
British
stuff.
cooking show.
Oh, that's true. He and Gordon Ramsay would get along just well. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
High achieving. I
High
think he would be subsidiary to Gordon Ramsay.
Mhm.
But
You know what
definitely
Rob
successful.
would say when his applications aren't running fast enough?
Mhm.
This is RAM. Get it instead of raw.
Yeah,
RAM,
this is
So
yeah,
cool.
yeah, cool little tech reference. Yeah, no, he would totally get a following based off of that.
Get it, guys? Computers use RAM.
Get it?
I sent
Dr.
you guys.
Mario. He's a doctor.
Oh yeah, no, but like how successful in the doctor?
Yeah, what kind of
Days
doctor?
would
Is he like
be-
a gynecologist? Like, what-
Yeah, does he like test your like? Would you be comfortable with Dr. Mario checking your prostate?
Yes.
There's a child developmental phenomena where children assume that the same stimuli that create certain emotions and heal negative ones for them apply to other people where it wouldn't even apply in the first place. So like if their mom is sad, a baby would give them their doll or like a little bit of baby food and stuff like that, and they think that that would be it because they can't associate different tastes and problems. And I think Dr. Mario would do the same thing with mushrooms. He would prescribe everyone psychedelics. And
That is.
I don't think
I'd want to go to.
a lot of like people in their mid-20s would go to Dr. Mario. But I'm afraid that he would lower the like overall age like life expectancy by about 10 years because old people just die from bad trips. So we'll say middle class. We'll say he's right there smack dab in the middle. I think is a fair place to put
You know
him.
what I just thought of? What if
Hmm.
he would sell like medicinal marijuana? That's
Oh, if he was in
huge nowadays.
California, yeah, he's like up here.
Yeah.
So I would
That's-
say, okay, then like lower high achieving. If he's in California, he's up here. If he's like anywhere else, he's like down here.
He's done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
Who knows?
Ness, my homie Ness, baseball
Ness.
star.
Baseball star, aspiring baseball child. Where in the?
So
I think I'm just omitting Ness from my memory. Yeah, he does have the baseball bat, and he has psychic powers, so he can read exactly what pitch they're gonna give him, and he would grow up to be an amazing baseball star.
yes, definitely.
And baseball is like a sport that a lot of people really get invested in. It's specifically a sport where people really get invested in the player specifically. Like baseball centers
Player
on the
stats.
player more than like the plays and stuff than anything else.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think he would do incredibly well. Duck Hunt, Duck Hunt's entire game is based on getting shot at. Like that's his entire thing.
Yeah.
A lot of boomers who used to play that game would instinctively quick draw on him, and I don't think his survivability would be very good.
Just walking on the street, just pull up the strap. Well, they wouldn't shoot the dog. They'd shoot just the duck.
What the dog doing?
But the dog
What the
laughs
duck
at you.
doing?
Have you ever seen footage of like duck hunt? Because the dog, after you shoot the duck, sometimes the dog will come up and just start laughing at you.
I've
Like
not-
it's
I
he
did not know that.
taunts. Like he like taunts you. And look, I'm not. I am above shooting dogs, but I'm not
Right.
above shooting anything that makes fun of me. Pikachu. In a world where Pokemon is a recognizable franchise, isn't he like all the way,
Mhm.
way up here, right? Like,
Yeah.
or would he be
Just
used?
his presence is recognizable.
His presence
as-
is recognizable, but would his success be tapped into by other people, or would he make his success his own? Because he's
I mean,
just
he
like
can't
an animal.
communicate with people.
He can't communicate, but he's really. Oh wait, Detective Pikachu.
Oh, okay.
Would-
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. Let's do Donkey Kong. I think the big man needs some rep. It's a pretty it's a pretty niche underground sentiment that in 2016 the death of Harambe was what started the cataclysmic event that led to the dysfunction of society that is today. Like that's
Mhm.
that you hear people mentioning that. DK being introduced, being a very popular character, being a lovable gorilla and intelligent, like he knows how to interact with society reasonably well, I think he would be the savior. And he would ultimately heal the rift that has been caused by the just everything that's happened since 2016. I don't attribute that as personal success. So what do you guys think? Because you can have a ton of different takes on DK's success.
Would he be like a politician? Like, how would he mend
Oh,
that?
that's yeah. That would he?
that rift?
He does have the tie. He has the tie.
Mhm.
He's very
He's
professional. Donkey Kong 2024 is what I'm going
Yes,
for here.
sign me up. I'll vote for Donkey Kong. And if he was assassinated, he'd be replaced.
He would be
DK
made
Jr.,
Oh, that's right. Diddy Kong would follow in his footsteps.
his successor.
Olimar would not do well because canonically, like in Super Smash Brothers, if you've seen Olimar, he's about like waist high for the average human being. But in his games, he like a soda can is colossal to him. It's the size of a big toy. I think he would get stepped on immediately and die.
Damn.
So I
Alright.
mean, what do you guys think? Like, if there's like if you were miniature, how realistically how long could you go before you died? Unless you think he'd be successful, he does have quite a large nose, so maybe he could
bet he's
sniff.
sniffing.
Yeah,
A lot.
he does sniff quite a bit. So he would die, but he would at least get some pretty pleasant smells before he did. So struggling dead end job.
What is the difference between like Link and cartoon version?
Oh,
Link?
Link. There's 3 links. So let me line them up. We
There's
got
3 Links?
Toon Link. We
That
got
one?
regular Link.
Oh, yeah, and then
And
we have slightly
Young
cartoony
Link.
Link.
Yeah. So I like your names for them much better. Regular Link is a trained warrior with like a very good sense of stoicism and duty to his kingdom. So I
Mhm.
think he'd be like in the military.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Probably in the military. He does work with a
Somewhere in
sword and
those two.
shield, so maybe like a close quarters expert, CQC.
like
But
that,
like
yeah.
people in the military, although he was very like I don't know if you ever played Breath of the Wild, but he was like the Knight's appointed guard.
Oh, okay.
He was like the main man. So I don't think I'm comfortable putting him above DK in the tiers.
That's fine.
Maybe
Yeah.
there.
Unless you want to. But
Oh, I see. I
that's
see
how
what
she
you
would be
mean.
successful.
Right. Okay.
In
then-
those sense, at least.
Yeah, and she's got a cool personality. Maybe that'd be lovable on the paintball field. Speaking of balls, Jigglypuff.
Balls. Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is the balloon Pokemon, meaning she's just a sentient balloon.
And balls.
Wall. Wall.
Dude, balls, top tier.
Balls.
All right, next character.
Alright, next question.
Jigglypuff would be.
Sorry.
Oh my
My
god,
bad,
that totally reminds me. I wanted Among Us to be a character, but I don't know how to add a character to here. So who would we substitute as Among Us?
Pac-Man.
Pa-
the
oh my
yellow
god,
imposter.
you're right. Yeah, Pac-Man is the yellow imposter, and Pac-Man's not really a recognizable character that we can do a whole
He's
lot
the
with.
crewmate.
there's not really much we can salvage. If crewmate, probably very not successful, right? Like you're probably gonna get murdered by
Well-
by the thing.
When were we talking about this? It was yesterday. We were saying how if you had any video game NPC character, whatever, as like a tamed version of them,
Right.
how they would
Oh
be
yeah.
helpful, and they could just like do chores.
Yeah,
could
they
do,
would
like,
just they would be like
cleaning,
little.
city
It would,
cleaning,
it'd be like
house
Detroit.
sweeping.
Detroit become human. It'd be that kind of
Exactly.
thing. Yeah, that's
They
a
did
perfect
chores that
middle
no one else
class.
wants to.
Yeah, that's a middle class thing right there. I think that's a
Mhm.
pretty cute one. That's Among Us would do well there. Young Link is just a kid, and he never grew up with any kind of training. He's just a child with a sword. He would definitely end up in juvie. I think
Juvie.
not doing very hot. Young Link there. Toon Link, literally the exact same thing, except he was raised on a deserted island. I think he'd make good for a young adult appealing version of Lost. But I think that's all he would really work out to be. Let's see. What are some other like gimmies for you guys? What are some like obvious placements?
Solid Snake.
Solid
Colonel.
Snake. Colonel. Yeah. Oh,
I need you to pick me
like
up from
top
school.
top of the military easily.
Easy.
Respected war hero. Yeah.
Mhm.
Not. Yeah. I think a baseball star unfortunately has more financial success. Palutena is literally a goddess, so that's
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, like literally just god at that point. I don't know how you can't be successful in that regard. Oh, Yoshi, that's right. Yoshi's too innocent, and the stresses of the modern world would get to him, and people would try too hard to abuse his cuteness for their own merits, because everyone wants to use something cute to like associate themselves with it. And I think Yoshi would end up being depressed.
Ice climbers would be like the people that climb Mount Everest and get one local newspaper written about them.
Oh
That's it.
yeah, and then it's like, oh wow, you did this thing that everyone else has already done. But they would have done
And
it
then
with
they sell
hammers.
crack cocaine.
And they're also
Like, wow.
children. They become drug dealers, and the reason why they don't get caught is because they sell it at like Mount Everest, where no one can get them. Their drops are in like
Off the
crevasses.
grid.
Yeah, their drums are in like crevasses and like false peaks. Oh yeah, I think they would do pretty well. Ridley,
He's too big to be in Smash.
he's too big to be in Smash. He's too big to be in the real world. People don't like big things. I know. Nobody likes
Yeah.
anything being big. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it has a good personality though. I don't know.
She's
What's gonna-
incredibly agile, so I think she would end up being a gymnast.
Bowser
Oh,
Jr.,
Peach. About
another ride off the coattails kind, like, Dad, I'm getting bullied in school. And
Yeah, he's
his
such a
dad
brat.
feels like-
Yeah, I hate him.
Yeah.
Bowser, I think, would be right alongside him. I envision Bowser being like the really run down but caring dad that just works hard to put food on the table for his son, and his son
I
loves
agree.
him. I think there's a very wholesome connection between these two.
I completely agree. I would have put Bowser in middle class, but I have the same vision as you for
Are
the
you-
character.
So, would you put Bowser middle class and leave Bowser Jr. lower to imply that Bowser would just leave Bowser Jr.?
Well, no, because Bowser, it's assumingly Bowser.
I think they're a
Jr. 's
package deal.
Bowser, you know. So, but I think that as soon as Bowser's gone, Bowser Jr. is like gonna drop. Are we
True.
assuming these characters are like eternal?
They
Or
have
like,
they have the lifespan that you would expect.
well, then yeah, Bowser Jr. is gonna have like. Bowser Jr. has a whole life ahead of him to ruin his life. Bowser
True.
can only protect
Yeah,
him for
and
so
Bowser's got it going. That's I think
Mhm.
that's solid. Pichu would do awful purely based on the fact that I would kill him on sight. If Pichu was anywhere within my sights, I think he would just not do very well in life because he wouldn't have one. We never even
Ooh.
like wrapped our heads around Jigglypuff.
Oh yeah.
She's the balloon Pokemon, so I think
balls.
I think but I think a beach ball would do reasonably well in life. Belmont, like, what do you even do? You're boring. You've got a whip. Kazuya, male model. I think that's he's also got the thing that Noah appreciates going for him. So Sephiroth, very edgy. Lot of 15-year-olds would love to emulate him. If he ended up anywhere on social media, he would be a hit. So
True,
probably up
I
there.
totally get those 21 Pilots, My Chemical Romance
Blink
vibes, that please-
182. Yeah.
I completely agree with that placement.
This got me like this right now.
Pyramithra, they're just very boring. I think they would end up in a six. Yeah, that's actually my thoughts exactly. Byleth, yeah, upper middle class. Because she's a teacher. And I think she would be very good at teaching things. She'd be like a professor. Cloud was literally like he is a military
Is
guy.
that the guy from Final Fantasy?
I actually think he was in Among Us, but I'm not entirely sure.
Among Us.
But
When the imposter has a giant sword, that's kind of sus.
he is a military man, but he's got a big sword. So I guess. Ganondorf, King of Evil, Dictator. That's a freebie. Actually, I think he would
Stalin
suck in
2.0.
Modern World. I don't think he would know what that. I don't think he would know what he's doing in the Modern World. He turns into like a warthog, which is a cool thing, but I'm not sure how
All right,
applicable that is.
Trainer,
Pokemon trainer. do
two
you think?
words. 2 words you're gonna think it is. Human
OnlyFans,
S tier.
Human S tier.
human trafficking.
Human trafficking S tier. I think he would. He has the best tools to do it. Like, Pokeballs are the easiest way to transport living objects. Like, dude, you're getting through customs, no issue. No issue. Like, thousands of people in your backpack. Like, you're moving
And
continents.
they would never know.
They would never know. And guess what? If they find out, you capture them in a Pokeball.
That's
valid.
true. Every single mistake you make just widens your stock. Huh.
That's kind of valid.
You kept using Banjo-Kazooie as a physical comparison to notice other characters. And I think that's
Yeah, I
very
feel
well
bad.
representative of how much the modern day cares about Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, but his name's a banjo. Does he play the banjo?
He does play the banjo. So maybe if he was in like
That's
the
got some like a musician.
yeah, if he was somewhere in like Texas or something, or like in the if he was just a few centuries earlier, back when
Yeah,
the
if he was
banjo
like-
was like a good instrument, like a common one, I guess. Banjo's actually a really cool instrument. But again, I think people would confuse him for Duck Hunt and shoot him. So
Shoot him.
About
Meta
them
Knight's
for this-
cool. I have personal bias. so-
Meta Knight. Yeah, we can't generalize Meta Knight.
Dude,
Uh,
Captain
I'll-
Falcon
Captain
looks
Falcon
like
or
Captain Falcon looks
Lizard
like
Boy, whatever
an
it is.
alcoholic to me, man. I don't know. He gives me the alcoholic vibe. There's just something about it.
I feel that. I feel that.
I think
I
you.
kind of give Snake Arms Lady from Punch Out for Switch.
Right. Oh, yeah. Sylvester Stallone Part 2. She also makes really good ramen, but she's also in
Ramen?
America. Yeah, no, she's a noodle shop owner. I'm pretty sure.
Ramen is huge in America for the only reason because people are obsessed with Japanese culture.
Oh my God, that's so, dude. People in America are more obsessed with Japanese culture than the Japanese are.
True.
So she would like really be up there. Like Captain Falcon, the man, the myth, the legend, crippling alcoholic, super cool. But I think he's praised so much, and he doesn't really value that. I think he has like more deep values than just being praised by a bunch of sweaty Smash nerds. And
He's a
that would just
philosopher.
but then he would just turn to alcoholism. I think I don't have any source for why I find that so easy to like notice, but I just see it happening. Sheik Ninja easily would have their own dojo right alongside Greninja. They would totally like have like a
Yeah.
duos thing going on, or they would kill people.
It'd be like
who knows?
Karate Kid, like the competing schools.
Yeah, Zelda is
Like Cobra
literally
Kai.
Sheik, is the alter ego of Sheik.
Bro, look at the poses between her and Peach. It's literally the same person.
Wait,
They
we're
do
even
the same category.
Oh my God,
Like they're
that's
doing the same pose.
Oh, so yeah, by process of comparison, she is. The tier list works, so I can't literally put her next to Peach. Look at this. This
Nah,
is
you're fine.
injustice.
I think she's higher than Peach.
You think she's higher than
I don't know
Peach?
who she
Okay.
is, but
She's got
Peach
magic.
is annoying.
She holds a artifact that makes her incredibly wise and one of the most powerful people in the universe. So she's at least better than Princess Peach. Couple edgelords can get out of the way here. Wolf, edgelord right
Edgelord.
next to Sephiroth. Joker, edgelord, but has
Edgelord.
that like
Honorable.
super like companionship, friendship close-knit kind of gang of the thieves thing, which actually makes him more
Gang, gang.
appealing because people who really like edgy things tend to really want to be liked.
Street Fighter guy. I don't know his
Street
name.
Fighter guy,
You
Ryu.
could probably also go with the school.
Dojo, yeah, he's the dojo teacher. Ken, I think, would also be in the dojo, but I think he would be too fiery and too like energetic, and he'd end up punching a child in the 12 and under section. So that would definitely make him old, like decrepit. Terry wouldn't be part of the dojo, but would still be caught punching a child. Shulk, anime culture, I think, right next to Min Min. Incineroar's a wrestler. He's like
He
the
looks like a wrestler.
he's the wrestling Pokemon. Like, he does showboats. He sets people on fire, which is like,
The WWE, bro. Would be
oh my
signing.
god. He could
contracts
either do like
instantly.
legit martial arts, or he could do like the showboat, like super fake, funny, inventive
Let the
wrestling.
Rock tell you in Chinese.
Yeah, dude, imagine Incineroar versus the Rock. I'm gonna put him
Bro,
above
that'd be
a god.
Showdown.
I'm gonna put
like
Incineroar
John
above
Cena.
god. Yeah.
Oh,
Same.
lightning round,
All right.
ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the fastest ranking of any character ever.
Crom. All right, Crom. We got super
homeless.
boring. Homeless. Okay, homeless. Falco, super show buddy. The ego would get to him. I think he would end up struggling, even though he thinks he would think he's up here. He would think he's up here, but he's actually down here. Ike, he fights for his friends, but at the same time, he also fights in a society that thinks violence is completely deplorable, decrepit, and homeless, or dead. Lucario
dead.
would end up in the dojo. However, he is a psychic Anubis dog fighting type that would totally trip out a ton of people. I think the government would end up hunting him. Middle class. I thought. Okay, we'll just.
It ran out.
Our sound guy is slightly underpaid. Sorry about that.
I'm just saying,
Lucas.
editing time.
Lucas, literally a child. He would be the child that Terry and Ken end up beating up.
let's
Mega
go.
Man, super recognizable video game character.
Yes.
Yeah,
Somewhere
I
there.
think he'd be up
Yeah.
there. Mewtwo, a
Mewtwo.
god that thinks everything is completely useless except for him. He's literally someone on Reddit or some like egotistical guy on the internet. Middle class probably. He never learned how to read. He doesn't know how to read.
He's
so
illiterate.
down here, he's illiterate.
No education.
Simon, just like or Richter, just like Simon, except he's cooler, and I think he would be a male model of some sort, so probably up here. Robin,
That
he
guy.
can cast spells, and he's got a lightning sword, but that's all fantasy stuff. I think he would end up making replicas of his magical stuff on Etsy, and he would end up selling it to
okay.
like really weird people. So middle class.
We gotta do
Roy.
lightning run music. I'm sorry.
Roy can summon fire with his sword, therefore he and Bear Grylls would get along a lot together. They don't even have to bring a fire starting kit. Upper middle class, he would do really good at the run with the wild thing. Samus, bounty hunter with a mech suit. Everyone would confuse her for Halo, and Halo Infinite is not doing very well right now. She would be very disliked by the gaming culture. Down. And Villager, the soulless, unfeeling human being who likes to catch bugs, would be the mayor that Isabelle gets Luigi to kill.
Yes.
So,
Canon.
but at the same time, I think he'd put up a fight, and that he wouldn't end up dying, but he would end up just like abandoned and alone. Octo Incorporated really values understanding these kind of mentalities and to categorize people as simply as possible, and we really hit the nail on the head here. Every single character here is put in a very simple placement, and yet they also have an incredibly simple reason for being there. I don't think anything we did was either contrived or hard to track.
Boss, really
I'm-
quick, message from legal. Just so you know, here at Octo Incorporated, we value one thing more than your pathetic customer service. It's 2 words for you: plausible deniability. Try to sue us, bitches. You ain't gonna find nothing.
Thank you so much for watching. Liking, subscribing always helps. Mac has his channel ActualBadEdits. I'll also be linking that YouTube. I hope you enjoyed. Meeting adjourned.